someone make it out of their group, then I will personally find any Dutch YouTuber of your choosing and mail him a chunk of my hair.
Should I send my address details already, or do you want to wait until it's official? Because I can tell you one thing, you will not get away with this prediction. That's all I'm gonna say. Manchester United are back. Liverpool, not so much. Arsenal's invincible dream is over, if that dream ever really existed anyways. And are Brighton able to finish in the Champions League spot? So without further ado, let's get right into the video. And it's not a surprise that we have to start with the big one, Manchester United against Arsenal. But judging from how both teams have started the season, many people predicted Arsenal to take the 3 points away from Old Trafford. And this is why I love football, because it didn't happen. Because Manchester United won the game 3-1. The new £85 million signing, Anthony, scored his first goal on his debut. And I have to say, I'm proud of my Brazilian friend because it only took him 35 minutes to score the opener. And to do that in such a big game at Old Trafford in your first game deserves an applause. I mean, Anthony's a special player. You guys know it, I know it. So great way for him to open his Manchester United account. And around the hour mark, Anthony got subbed off for Cristiano Ronaldo because in the second half, Manchester United was completely losing control. Up until that point, Arsenal was basically dominating the second half. And shortly after, they got rewarded because Bukayo Saka scored the equalizer, but a Marcus Rashford brace managed to seal the victory for Manchester United. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect that from Marcus Rashford. Manchester United were quick in the turnover, where they were very dangerous actually. But in my opinion, 3-1 looks like Manchester United completely dominated that game, which clearly wasn't how the game went. Arsenal played some good football like they've been doing the entire season, and they were playing well, but they lacked that killer instinct in front of goal. But in all fairness, the game could have gone completely different if VAR wouldn't have cancelled Gabriel Martinelli's goal in the first half. And I'm not gonna lie, this weekend had some questionable VAR decisions, not only in this game but in many others as well. And for Arsenal, yeah, their first loss of the season, it was bound to happen at one point. But I'm not gonna lie, this loss wasn't necessary. Because I personally thought when they scored the equalizer that they would push through, because the first part of the second half was all Arsenal basically. So a bit unfortunate for them to lose, but it's not gonna come crumbling down for them. Believe me, Arsenal will stay around that top spot for quite some time. And now we're going to talk about another club from London. Well, two actually, because Chelsea played against West Ham United. And oh my god, this game was full of controversy. West Ham scored the game opener in the 62nd minute when Mikel Antonio hit the back of the net. But a late comeback from Chelsea made them go up 2-1 after Ben Chilwell equalized and Kai Havertz scored the winning goal. But anyways, Kai Havertz's winner almost wasn't the game-winning goal after all, because Maxwell Cornet scored a late equalizer for West Ham. But the goal was disallowed because Jared Bowen was deemed to have fouled Edouard Mendy in build-up. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how they saw a foul in this one. And personally, I'm a big advocate of VAR because 99% of the time, it's just the fact that it makes the game way more fair than when we didn't have VAR. But I mean, in these type of situations, you wonder what they are smoking because this was a horrendous decision. To be fair, I'm pretty sure that even Stevie Wonder could have seen that this wasn't the foul. But for West Ham, it doesn't matter anymore. They already lost a point, which could be very vital at the end of the season. That stuff, I'm not gonna lie, I would be fuming if I was a West Ham supporter. And let's talk about Chelsea. Chelsea looked a little bit different this weekend, but the first half the team started pretty slow. The same goes for West Ham actually. The first half wasn't that interesting, but the second half was way more exciting. Not only because of the stuff that we just talked about, but generally both teams just started to play way better. By the way, amazing stuff from Specsavers for making this tweet. I'm not gonna lie, that's absolutely hilarious. I would definitely take that appointment because this was just terrible. But Chelsea-West Ham wasn't the only London derby, because Tottenham also played against Fulham in a game that they managed to win 2-1. Water is wet, the sky is blue, and Harry Kane scores the winning goal for Tottenham. Nothing to see here, nothing special that happened this week. Just the same old thing that we've been seeing for years. Harry Kane saving Tottenham Hotspur. Well, saving might be a little bit too much, but anyways, him scoring the winning goal is just something I've gotten completely used to because it happens so much. He now scored 188 goals in the Premier League, putting him clear in third place in the all-time top scorers list. Højbjerg scored the game opener for Spurs, and another striker who started the season off absolutely amazing is Alexander Mitrovic, who scored again, as he is now the second top scorer this season in the Premier League with 6, which is pretty surprising actually. I don't think that anybody would have expected that. I know he had an amazing season, scoring more than 40 goals in the Championship last season, but he never showed that he was able to do it in the Premier League. But this season, finally, he's fulfilling his promise. Until now at least. I don't know how the rest of the season will be, but it's looking pretty good for him. And even though this is nice for Mitrovic, Fulham couldn't really benefit from it this weekend because they lost the game like I said, so 0 points for them. Richarlison got booked for celebrating a goal that in the end actually never got scored because it was ruled out by VAR, but his yellow card still stood, so that was just great entertainment. But I'm not gonna lie, Richarlison played a good game on his first start for Spurs, and you can clearly see that they're still looking to find that form, but the good thing for them is that they're still winning games, so the structure looks pretty solid, and if they manage to find that edge, that fire, I think that Spurs could become even better this season. And for Fulham, unfortunately, no points this weekend, but still 8 points from their first 6 games against some tough opponents is just a good start. I think that Fulham can actually be proud of how they started this season in the Premier League. And now let's talk about Manchester City, who didn't manage to take away the 3 points from Aston Villa. City really couldn't find their rhythm in the first half, as Aston Villa arguably had the best chances in the first 45 minutes. And after the break, it only took 5 minutes for Erling Haaland to score again, which puts him on 10 goals in 6 games. Have you ever seen anything like it? Now it's the Premier League record of fewest games to reach double figures. For Aston Villa, Jacob Ramsey was really good on the day, as he was also the one that provided the assist for Leon Bailey to score the equalizer in the 74th minute. And Aston Villa could have had more on the day, because Coutinho came on in the second half and scored an absolute screamer, only for it to be ruled off by VAR. And again, it's time to bring in the controversy, because for some reason VAR wasn't available for this decision, but looking back to replays, it looks like Coutinho was onside. So with that in mind, Aston Villa should have actually won the game. Oh my days, this was a bad weekend for VAR. For Aston Villa, of course, it would have been nice if they got away with the 3 points, because so far they haven't done that well this season, so there's a lot of pressure on Steven Gerrard. And in this game, the team showed that they're capable of more. Very unfortunate not to get the 3 points, like I said. And for Manchester City, this is their second draw of the season, but still, things are looking very good for them. They're on 14 points, they're only one of league leaders Arsenal, so there's definitely no crisis going on at the Etihad. And now let's talk about the Merseyside derby, because Everton faced off against Liverpool, and for Liverpool this was a very frustrating visit, because the game ended in a goalless draw, but it could have been worse for Liverpool, because Connor Cody scored the only goal of the game, only for it to be ruled out for offside. And with the World Cup around the corner, Jordan Pickford is showing Southgate that he is England's #1, as he made 8 saves, which is the most in a Premier League game in which he didn't concede, so definitely a great game for him. Also, Onana in midfield played a great game. That guy's a big talent. Believe me, he will go on to do some great things this season already. But definitely I've seen some good signs from Everton, so I personally think that it will be a matter of time before they climb their way up the table again. But after winning their last 2 games, it looked like Liverpool finally turned around their bad start to the season. But the fact that they drew again puts them in 7th on 9 points, which is already 6 less than league leaders Arsenal. So Liverpool definitely have to step up their game. They clearly haven't been in top gear yet, but it's about time that Liverpool get back to their top form, because the Champions League is waiting, and this week they're already playing against Napoli. And in a group with Ajax, Rangers and Napoli, you definitely have to be top form, because otherwise Liverpool might have a very disappointing Champions League campaign. I don't think they will, because obviously there's so much talent in that squad, but you never know, they're in a tricky group. And now let's talk about Brighton, because it was Brighton against Leicester, but the only thing you can talk about is Brighton, because they have been absolutely amazing this season, which is absolutely ridiculous if you think about the fact that they lost Bissouma, Cucurella as well, but their recruitment is just absolutely unbelievable. They brought in Moises Caicedo, who scored on the day, who just looks to be a great player for Brighton. The other goals came from Thomas and Trossard, while McAllister also chipped in with 2. It could have been 3, but an absolute worldie was disallowed for offside. But the other goals also weren't that bad, with the free kick definitely being the best of the 2 goals. Leicester managed to get 2 back, because Daka and Iheanacho scored in the first half. But I'm not gonna lie, Leicester City is just not up to Premier League football this season. They have lost their last 5 games, as they are dead last with only 1 point. And I see a lot of people saying that Rodgers should be sacked. Personally, I disagree. I think that he still has a lot of credit in the bank. And yes, the season start has been absolutely horrendous. I will be the first one to acknowledge that. But I personally don't think that Rodgers is the problem. So even though I think it's a little bit premature to sack Rodgers now already, I do think that if this continues, new energy is definitely needed. So then the club might actually be able to think about sacking Rodgers. But for now, give him the confidence and hope that he's able to get his team back in form, because what they've shown this year so far has been pretty woeful, I'm not gonna lie. And Brighton, absolutely ridiculous, in 4th now. Can they keep this up? Can they remain in the Champions League spot? I don't think so. I think they will drop off eventually, but it's absolutely ridiculous what they're doing. On 13 points, absolutely ridiculous. And 5-2 is quite a crazy result actually. But surprisingly enough, this wasn't the only game that ended in a 5-2, because the Brentford against Leeds game had the exact same result. And Brentford, who are level on points with Liverpool now, scored 5 at home against Leeds, taking away the 3 points. Marc Roca and new signing Luis Sinisterra scored for Leeds, while Ivan Toney, Mbuemo and Wissa scored for Brentford. And you're probably wondering, considering that's only 3 players. But Ivan Toney netted his first ever Premier League hat-trick, which now puts him on 5 goals for the entire season. So a great game for Brentford, a great game for Ivan Toney, as they are now in the top half of the table, 1 point ahead of Leeds, who unfortunately for them didn't win, but still their start to the season has been pretty good. But against Brentford, unfortunately it wasn't good enough. But like I said, it's not all bad, because they started the season off pretty good. Bournemouth managed to take 3 points away at City ground, beating Nottingham Forest 3-2. Nottingham Forest were actually up 2-0 by halftime, but in the second half Bournemouth turned on all their engines, with Billing, Solanke and Anthony grabbing a goal to secure the 3 points. And for Bournemouth, this was a great day, because this was the first time in Premier League history that they managed to get a win after trailing by 2 goals. So Nottingham Forest remain on 4 points, while Bournemouth climb all the way to 13, as they now have 7 points. So a good start to the season for them as well. And after 3 draws, Wolves finally got their first win of the season against Southampton. It took them 6 games, but Daniel Podence netted the winner against Southampton. They're now on 6 points, as they got closer to their opponents on the day, Southampton, who now only have 1 point more than Wolves. And let's talk about the last game of the weekend, Newcastle against Crystal Palace, and this game was very exciting to watch. Newcastle had 22 shots, while Crystal Palace also had 19. So definitely a great contest at St James's Park. But again, we had yet another controversial call for VAR, because Tyrick Mitchell scored an own goal that eventually got ruled out because Willock apparently fouled Crystal Palace's goalkeeper. But this only happened because Mitchell literally pushed him into Guaita. So I'm not gonna lie, Newcastle should have gotten a goal. Again, a woeful decision from VAR. So the game ended in a 0-0 draw. Newcastle could have been on 10 points, but because of that disallowed goal, they're only on 7 now. And Crystal Palace, because of that draw, got their 6th point of the season. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of the VAR decision. Did you agree with them? Did you disagree with them? Share your opinion with me in the comments. Be sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, click my videos on the end screen right now, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.